Hey guys, welcome to the 10-part autobiography. Did I say that right? Autobiography 10-part series. Now, throughout these 10 parts, I am going to be explaining how SOR, I guess, came to be and how it grew into SOR Digital and how you can too duplicate the process and also make this work for you. Now, I'm going to put this out there. God is the baseline. He is the first ingredient in all of this that has taken place and that is actually still happening. All right. So results may vary based on where your standing is with God, if you're Christian or if you're not, what God you pray to, whatever you are. I pray to the God of the creator of the universe, the Father of Jesus. That's the one that I worship. That's the one that I serve. Okay. So results may vary on who you are in with. All right. So a friend of mine, named Lisa, I hope she's okay with me putting her name out there, Miss Lisa as I call her, recommended to me a type of content that I can make, which is kind of like I said, an autobiography, 10-part series of how SOR came to be, like she said, a tale of my success. So today, let me show you guys here. Today we're going to be doing episode 1. What was I thinking? How SOR came to be in its entirety. So let me just break that down to you. I don't know if I can actually, I brought up a sketch pad here, so if I need to do these type of things for you, I brought up a sketch pad here, so in case, oh, you guys can't see it, I brought up a sketch pad here in case I need to break some things down, in case I need to write out. As you can see, I can do all that there. But I'm just going to introduce myself, who I am, and what SR is now, and then we can take it back. And to begin, these videos are made to be a little lengthy. This one may be running around 36 to the 40-minute mark. So if you aren't going to stick in, I suggest you leave now because everything I say will be kind of tied together. All right. I'm Elijah Tucker. I am the owner of SOR Digital, and which once was as Society of Random. This is just a channel name. This is not the company / brand name anymore. Um, so Society of Random really started. It didn't really start actually. It's just, look, someone's calling me in the middle of recording. Um, it kind of started. I wouldn't say it has an official start date. It's just one day I decided to pick up a camera and start doing foolish stuff. I was frying French fries in hot. I was okay frying French fries in hot sauce, and I, I I can't explain that. I really can't explain that. But then things really took off around the 2016-17 mark. I did make a Cooking with Elijah video. I think that stands at about 7K views now. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure the correction will be up on screen back in the edit. Um, and then I started making more quality content in which I would do like gaming videos, unboxings, reviews. And with that, someone named Angie from Promotela, I would never forget Angie. Angie from Promotela reached out to me, and she was basically saying, hey, can we network? Promotela, you can pay this X amount of money, and Promotela can help you with your channel. So I was like, yeah, at that time, I think I was getting an allowance or something like that. There wasn't any kind of brand money or anything like that. I was purely coming out of me, or actually my parents. Um, so she reached out to me, thinking I had this whole empire, or can I speak to your agent and all this. I'm saying, hey, this is just me. I think I might have been 16, 17 at the time. 16 or 15, one of those at the time. I was in middle school. So, no, I didn't have any of that. I didn't have any of that set up. And so she was like, hey, since you have none of this set up, I see that you're growing, you're getting views. You're going to need someone to have your back out here on YouTube because it is a war zone. And let me tell you, it's still a war zone. And so she kind of picked me up as an agent, I guess you could say. Um, and ever since then, I guess the rest is history. It's really a blur after that. I would say the earliest I can remember is when we first started making merch, and I think that is when the channel took a complete turn. I mean, it went from a uh this is one of the few turns that it's going to take. It went from a channel to more of a brand now that we were creating merch and we were selling things with logos on it. I guess I was getting around 1 to 10 orders a month or something like that. Now it would be either from family members or close friends who would follow the channel. So after merch, I don't really think there was another big turn. I did start making more quality content because I had the money, I had the resources to do that. Then I upgraded. I was working from a 2 GB laptop. Not even a work. It wasn't even strong enough to do like multitasking in Google and PowerPoint. It wasn't even strong enough to do that. But I was working that laptop. I was editing off of it. My first editing software was VideoPad by NCH Software. I would never forget them either because I still recommend it to people today because it's user friendly and it's really compute easy, compute friendly. I would say, meaning you don't need a lot of compute power. Like you can pick up a random laptop and do that. So I still recommend that today. I was going from there, so I upgraded to a desktop, which I think was like 4 GB of RAM. It had a video card in it, nothing like gaming video cards, anything like that. But I upgraded from there, and that's where I started doing my gaming content. And went from the reactions and the unboxings because that's all I could do. That's all that computer could handle. I moved up to the gaming content. I think my first game was like some kind of torture simulation thing. I think it was called like, yeah, I can't remember. I cannot remember that. I know what it looks like when I see it though. And that's really the era of gaming. And from there, it's also another blur. It's another blur from there. The earliest I can remember is the second channel that I tried to start, which was Tut Buckets. I'm pretty sure some people remember that. That was the most embarrassing part in my whole YouTube career. I can say that because at this point it is close to being a career, not really there, but it was embarrassing. I tried to start. I was trying to not differentiate, to split up my content on multiple channels to have Tut Buckets to be the gaming more content and to have SOR Society of Random. When I say SOR, I mean Society of Random. Be more of a let's see, more of a me channel, if that makes sense. More of what's happening in my life, because I did do some vlogs. I did do some like Pokemon Go type stuff, like out in nature and stuff. So that's what really I was trying to do, but that failed. I think that got up to like 19 subscribers or something like that. And then I actually threw it away because I was just done with the separation of content. Sometimes I would put the right videos in the wrong place and vice versa. So yeah, after that it's another blur. And then we're getting closer to present day. So after Tut Bucket's deletion of that, I finally, okay, so actually, let me backtrack, you guys. I'm sorry about this. I'm sorry to throw you off, but let me backtrack, you guys. Actually, my channel was named my name. It was Elijah Tucker, because when you create your Google account, you put your name in it. And that's what the channel was for a very long time. It was my name. And so I never forget, it was a few months after we moved, and I was in the living room of the new house, and I was bored out of my mind, I guess. And I could not come up with a channel name. I laid on the floor. I laid on the couch. I laid halfway off the couch on the floor. I think at some point I was under the couch actually trying to think of a name for this channel to rename it, because I knew I did not want to brand it as Elijah Tucker. It was like that forever. So even before the Angie part, even before Promotela, even before the content, I mean the merch, that's how far back I'm going. It was Elijah Tucker. And then I guess one day I decided to name it Society of Random. I don't know where that came from. I had no inspiration. I was not looking up anything because I didn't have a phone like that back then. I think I had a phone, but it was like a really cheap, you guys know those prepaid phones you get, not like a flip phone. It was a Samsung smartphone, but it wasn't all that. Okay, that's all. So that's the day that the channel was renamed to Society of Random. And many times, even today, I'm thinking of renaming everything only because I don't know why. I don't know where Society of Random came from. And I guess that's where I started to decide to rename things to SOR Digital. SOR Digital covers a multitude of things, so we'll get into that. So I renamed the channel, and that's when we get into the whole branding part of side of things. So I really want to speed up because after that I just made content. I just worked my butt off making content. There isn't really anything to speak of at that point. It was me just putting in the work, making videos. I would make all kinds of stuff. I don't care where I was in my room. I didn't have a setup like I have now. Look, let's just pause. Let's just completely pause here. I'm actually, let's use this tablet while we have it here. I'm gonna draw you uh kind of a comparison of where I was working with. So let's say this square. Oh god, that is not a square. Hold up, I can make a perfect square. I think this software lets me do that. That is not a perfect square. Hold up. Okay, I got this. Okay, let's, come on. Come on. There we go. Okay. That's close enough. It's like a rhombus, but that's close enough. Let's say that this rhombus is my room. I think my bed was somewhere over here, and at one point I had the desk here. Well, it wasn't the desk. It was my dresser with my TV on it. And I would kind of, this is me right here, okay? That's me. I would kind of work off the edge of the dresser. That's just how bad it was. I had no desk. I was working the laptop from the edge of the dresser, and this was my door. And then I don't really. Oh, there was also another dresser, which I still have today in that closet over there. So that was kind of the layout of my room. And now I'm not gonna show you guys now. We'll get to that. But that's just how small, that's just how compact everything was. I had no workspace. I kind of had to improvise. So everything up to then is just kind of me, like I said, putting in the work, me doing. That's all that is. Until we get to uh when I start doing freelance work. Freelance work is another turning point of Society of Random. When I started doing freelance work, which was back in 2019, I want to say 2019, I started doing freelance work, and that's when SO Society of Random. I tried to say that more so you guys don't get confused with SOR Digital. Society of Random really started to take off. I don't really know how to word these things. Really started to just go crazy. Okay. So let me just give you a little bit more of a context here. So my channel started back in, I think, okay, September 24th, 2014. Okay. Up until, I want to say 2019 of, I'm going to say like the 6th of June, 8/6/19. I think that was the date where I started freelance work, where I, oh, wrong scene, where I, where SOR really started to take, hold up, I'm getting crazy messages everywhere, where the channel really started to take a drastic turn. Like I said, there were multiple turns, big turns that the channel took. First one was merch, and this second one is freelancing, which really just started branding me more than the channel. But as I continue to tell the story, things intertwine. All right. Uh, so I started freelance work, where I was doing like quick things on this. I wasn't quite doing websites yet. That'll come to that. I was doing logos. I was doing funeral planners. I was doing business cards. I was doing really minuscule things, not really on another level of things. At that point, there was no kind of set brand or anything like that. I was kind of doing both. I was putting things inside of SOR and under my name at the same time. I think at this point I was 17 to 18 years old. I wouldn't know. No, not 18. Still, Okay, so back then I had to be even younger than that. I'm gonna say at this point I was 16 to 17 years old. It has to be. Yeah. Um, and I couldn't really do any kind of like legal things. So everything I was doing was in a uh under the table type stuff. So everything was going through Cash App and PayPal. PayPal was my best friend because I don't think anyone was using Cash App back in 2019 like they are in 2020 and 2021. Uh, so yeah, that's how I was doing things back then. So as you can see, I'm really kind of like not remembering exactly the very minute things because I cannot remember that far. Like I said, some people I can barely remember yesterday, honestly, because so much happens now. We'll get to that too. So if you kind of see me like really skipping over some things, maybe it feels like I'm dodging things like that. I just cannot remember. I can't. Okay, I'm sorry. I'll get it as accurate as close as I can, but I cannot remember. Um, so yeah, and then after the freelance part, I want to say is where I started to really explore not only myself but also my capabilities and my limits. I I used to watch 3-hour YouTube videos on learning Adobe Premiere and Adobe Photoshop. This guy named Terry Smith, I think he is. I'll put him up on the screen somewhere here. Terry Smith. He was a tutorialist. I think that's what they're called. He would put out these 3 hour, 4 hour long videos on a tutorial of Premiere and Photoshop. And those things were my best friends. Those videos were my best friends. I think I know everything I know today in the editing, photo altering, whatever you want to call it, standpoint from Terry White. I think that's his name. Uh, yeah, I really just kind of dug in, put my head down, and really tried to fine tune something, to sharpen something. I mean, if you go back on my channel, you can go to the first video, then you can go kind of in the middle, then go a little above the middle. You can see the differences of the quality and the edits and things uh, that I would do in the videos and how they change and how they're more quality and things like that. So it was really kind of in that point. Again, this is still 2019. I think it was just like late 2019 how things really took off. I mean, I was doing green screens and things like that. Back then, I was really just beginning, so the green screens look terrible. Okay, um, this is not a green screen. Look, this is real. I can touch everything. All of this is real. I know some people may ask that because some people are very good at green screen. Like they can make it look like they're actually in that environment. I'm almost there, but the whole thing with me is trying to eliminate shadows. You see how that shadow is behind me? That would actually be a darker shade of green than what you're trying to green screen. So you will have to do two green screens, and when you do that, you'll start to get those pixelated effects around the edges of your face and arms and things like that. That's a whole nother thing. That's a whole nother thing. Anyway, uh, yeah, I was really trying to fine tune me and really get into what I want to get good at and where I want this channel to go into 2020 because that was the beginning of a new decade. Everyone was loving 2020, man. It was really just crazy. Everyone was loving 2020 until 2020 actually came. We'll get to that. So 2020 actually comes, and I think this is the best year not only SOR had, but I had ever in my history of living. Some people can say otherwise. I haven't had anyone close to me pass from COVID-19 during 2020, even still up till today, by God's grace. Yeah, here comes 2020, and I'm trying to leave this completely unedited as possible, just to let you know. Here comes 2020, and SOR makes another big turn, another big leap. SOR, Society of Random. I keep trying to clarify that in case people get confused. Another big leap. I keep trying to say leak. My brain. Another big turn in what we were trying to do. So at that point, like we know, everyone was at home a lot. I think after March, things started to really shut down and everyone was at home a lot. So things, even though I was at home, I wasn't making content. I wasn't making videos. I was really barely uploading. I think I can show you here if I can bring it up. Okay, so here are things from the year 2020. So everything that says 1 year ago, as this starting right here at the bottom left, Shadow becomes a vampire, Minecraft RP. This is again, I think this was before COVID actually, but still, it's in that 2020 year. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6, 57, 58, 59. Hold up. 56 videos in the year of 2020. 56 videos in one whole year. That's like one video per week, or maybe one plus one video per week, because 52 weeks in a year. So somewhere around there. I really wasn't pushing content out as much as I wanted to be. That's really how you grow on YouTube, is really pushing content out. But I couldn't do that in that moment because, like I said, I was really building SOR. So in the time of 2020, things were quite the opposite of what I ever expected for it to be, especially when things were shutting down. Man, this is the year where we really started pushing merch and things like that. Though people were losing their jobs in 2020 and incomes were fluctuating and things were not steady, things were not concrete during that pandemic, during this pandemic we're still in at all, things were still happening. Things were still coming in. Things were still going out. I mean, merch sales were more than there ever have been. We really started to revitalize the merch because I think all the way from when we started merch all the way up to 2020, post-pandemic, start post of the pandemic, the merch was still the same. We still had that same merch out from years ago. And I was really like, how can we change this? And I cannot find, I'll probably put it up on screen, so I can't find the images of what the merch look like. I don't know where it is. I'm so sorry. Um okay, yeah, I looked. It's on the server somewhere. I have a 12 terabyte server in my room for all the content of SOR, logos, the businesses that I run, and things like that. 12 terabytes, which is 12,000 gigabytes. I think that's how that works. Yeah. So it's really the year where I wanted to revitalize our merch because it was the same for years, and things really took off actually after we did that. Even in the pandemic, we were doing 40 to 50 orders every week or every 2 weeks. It was in that span of weeks to 2 weeks. That was how we counted it. We didn't count by quarter or anything like that, just because of how frequently it was coming in and how we had to report. Because the people that we were working with, we were doing Bonfire started, then we did Zazzle, and then we did Custom Ink. Now we're back with Bonfire. But thanks to God, we're actually able to sell through the SOR website, not through Bonfire. Right now we're with Bonfire. I forgot what I was saying. Like things were like I said, things were coming in more, like 10 to 11 times more in that period in the pandemic. So I was really working towards getting new merch out there, changing the game on some of the things. I was doing like holographic shirts. I was doing tie-dye shirts and things like that. I really wanted to up the quality of also the cottons and things like that. Also during then, my whole setup changed. Not to the caliber that it is now, but I think I purchased my first gaming computer in the Christmas of 2020. Was it? No, no, no. It was a Christmas of 2019 coming into 2020 when I had the new gaming computer. Though it was a GT 1030, I'm pretty sure some people that are watching this don't know what the heck I'm saying. GT 1030 is a very low graphics card, it's like 2 gigabytes of VRAM graphics card, which is can't run anything. Uh, my favorite game was Fortnite, as it is still today. It was running that from it would get as low as 20 something FPS. and then the highest I've ever seen it was like 60 something, and it would fluctuate between those two numbers. So my setup was pretty good at that point. I mean, the desk was all the way back here. I was in this room. The desk was all the way back here. Actually, we have a I forgot, we can bring up the drawing here. So this is the old room. I'm just going to bring this down and create a new layer for the new room. So this is oops, that's not, this is 2020 here, right? Let me switch what I'm writing with because I don't like that. All right, so this is 2020 here, all right? So we have my room. This is my, okay, hold up. Okay, so this is my new room here. So we have my desk. It was like that big. I was actually working with a 60-inch table, which took up most of the room. Then I had a queen size bed, which was like this. And this is how much walk room I had. Just that little bit right there. That's how much walk room I had. The dresser was in front of this, I believe. And then you had me sitting in the chair right back here. You had my computer up on the desk along with a screen, keyboard, mouse. I don't need to be drawing all that, but you get it. And then there's the door up there. So this is the one from that year. Can't I like turn these off somehow? There we go. So this is 2019 to 2014, 2014 to 2019. And this is 2020. So things really kind of changed in a way. I got a new bed, same dresser though. One of the dressers I got rid of, and we upgraded the gaming setup, and we upgraded the desk. So I was working with new equipment, and things really took even a bigger turn. Though that was a low video graphics card, whatever I want to say, it still was better than what I previously had because the other one had no graphics card. It only had a video driver. So it was better of an upgrade, but also a downgrade at the same time, I guess. Yeah, even then, if you go back to the videos like the ones I pulled up earlier, you could see content was even higher than 2019. So even on that standpoint, things took off again. And then we started, what else happened in 2020? There's a lot of personal things in life. I don't really need to share that because this whole autobiography is about how SOR started. But in my personal life, things really took off then. I got a car, paid it off at the same date. I got pretty much everything I wanted. What else? I can't remember everything, but it was a lot. Another vehicle, a moped. Then I got 2 scooters actually, and then I got look. Well, I can get into all that, but can you see what I'm trying to say here? So that was 2020, the standpoint of early 2020. Inside of we were deep in the pandemic at that point. So I want to say late 2020 is when again the channel did another huge flip, and this is when SOR Digital. This thing is not letting me write. SOR Digital really came into play. So if I go on our website here, I'll show you right here. Society. If I go on our website here, you can see everywhere there is SOR Digital. SOR Digital. It's everywhere. The new brand name of everything is SOR Digital. My website is a little hard to navigate. It does need to be upgraded a little bit. It's like this since late 2020, which isn't too bad. I did upgrade the licensing down at the bottom, but that's kind of a legal thing you have to do. SOR Digital is when I actually went back to freelancing. Like again, like I said, 2020, I was barely making content. I was more focused on me, like I was saying. It's really when SOR Digital made Oop, wrong one. Made a big turn in events here. Um, I opened SOR Digital as was supposed to be a second business, a second thing that was only supposed to be like my freelance business. But I was thinking, why not combine Society of Random with it? Because in a way, we were turning into an entertainment agency. Because in the year of 2020, I also forgot to report this, I started an MCN. An MCN is a multi channel network, which is a head network. So, like SOR, a big channel. Oh, God. See, I can't remember everything at the same time. We also hit 1,000 subscribers inside of 2020. I think it was 2020. And then we went up to 1,170 is which we're at now. Uh, so we gained an extra 100 in the late of 2020. Uh, is really where we started the MCN multi-channel network. So where a head network comes and brings smaller channels in to kind of train them and kind of raise them up to where they can be or they have the potential to be. And I was working with a few channels. I don't remember all the names of them. I know one was Ewan Mitchell, one of my UK friends, my friend Corey, another friend, then it was another person. I can't remember all of them. I don't say I call them persons because I don't remember their names. That's when we also started the MCN, and then I also started doing like live streams. Like the kind of live streams we were doing was on a different caliber of one. Like if you guys have tuned into one of my live streams, they're not just any old live streams. They're full on events, is what I try to get them to be. It takes a lot of planning, a lot of graphical editing, making all the graphics for everything. I try to do these things on a caliber which they look professional, look show quality, you know? We just had the award ceremony at the end of 2020. We'll get to that too. Uh, and then we also had the sponsored by Oculus, the Doctor Who one. Before that, it was, oh man. So before that, it was the Star Wars one. It was a Star Wars virtual reality experience. That one was also on another. I have to bring it up here because I don't remember. I was also doing tournaments for Fortnite, which we were giving away like up to $200 per tournament. Like it was crazy. And then we were doing also, I think that's all for 2020. Yeah, because there's a 2019 recap. So yeah, and there's the Doctor Who one. So even the live streams are on another. It was insane. I have never put something together like that on my own. Um, then here we were really becoming an entertainment agency. I was doing live streams for other people. I was outsourcing and things like that. I was working with companies. I worked with Oculus twice. That was the Star Wars virtual reality experience and also the Doctor Who virtual reality experience. Those both were sponsored by Oculus. So at that point, we were getting noticed by big brands like Oculus. There was also a video back in 2019, I believe, where I was actually sponsored by G Fuel, which is another big company. They make gamer fuel. That's what G Fuel is. It's like a drink, like a energy type drink thing. And quite frankly, I call it disgusting. It was disgusting. Spit it out on camera and everything. And then back in the what is it? Back in the back in the Doctor Who one. Was it Doctor Who? Yes, the Doctor Who one. They sponsored again. G Fuel and Oculus sponsored that one again. So I was like, why did they come back after I spit out their drink and called it nasty? I haven't tried it since then. I'm scared to because it was just that bad. Um, but we were getting picked up by big brands. So let's get back to SR Digital. I was like, let's combine this and let's make this into something more than just Society of Random, the YouTube channel. And that's where SOR Digital came to be. Now, if I can, no, I don't, I didn't have that all included in the about page. So it wasn't included on the SOR digital about page, but I think it is included on the regular SOR about page. About SOR, read more. Let's see this here. Why does that go to contact us? Oh God, that's incorrect. I gotta fix that. Okay, so here we are. Society of Random is a non-profit and entertainment business started by me in 2014 and has been growing ever since. It all started with just a YouTube channel and then rapidly branched out into a multi-platform graphical design and entertainment company. We tried to give you the same personalized experience to all our viewers and customers. So as you can see, by the time of SOR Digital, we were really becoming an entertainment business. And even if you go on, let me see here. I want to show you guys this right here. X that out. So that's when I decided to combine both of those together and create SOR Digital. To combine my freelance things and to combine my YouTube channel all under one business, under one LLC, under one brand. And then things really took off. I guess that's what I needed to do from the beginning, is to not separate these things, as I was trying to do with SOR, as I was trying to do with that early channel name, Tut Buckets. You guys remember that? I tried to separate it then, like I told you guys earlier. And then again, I tried to do with SOR Digital. Is to not separate these things, but to keep them together and just put them under a umbrella. So I think actually before SOR Digital, I did do that. I had SOR Media Groups, I think was called Society of Random Media Group, LLC. The media group was kind of the bundling of all of the, how do I want to put it? All of the places that SOR is affiliated with. So if I was working for a church, if I was working for a school, or if I was working for things like that, they can all bundle with SOR Media Groups, and that's how I was doing the freelance plus the YouTube channel at the same time. That was before SOR did. Okay, let's write this out so you guys can really understand what I'm saying here. So let's clear this layer out. Let's make a new one. And let's see if I can get something a little bit darker here so you guys can really see what I'm drawing here. Okay, so you had SOR regular, okay? This is Society of Random regular, okay? And let's actually do like a web here. So you had, oh my gosh. Why can't I just find a regular writing pen? So you had SOR regular here, smack dab in the middle, okay? Let's kind of position this so you guys can see everything. SOR, just SOR regular here, all right? So you just had SOR regular here, all right? And then I tried to branch it off. As you guys remember, I said, Tut Butt Kids. I think that channel's still up too because I couldn't delete it or whatever. I forgot the login, I think is what it was. And then again, it branched out. I think I tried to delete Tut Bucket, so we'll just leave that there. And then I branched out again and tried to do SOR. MG stands for media groups, okay? Because I'm not going to write all that out. It'll look terrible and take up too much of the screen. And then from media groups, we came to SOR Digital. Sorry about the terrible handwriting. I'm writing on a screen that is moving. So those are the three things that I tried to split SOR into at the same time. And then again, I had my ET is my initials, Elijah Tucker, freelance. Okay. So all of these things were coming outside of SOR. These were inside of SOR. I was SOR, okay? Me as the owner of the channel. That's why it's coming out of there. And then you had Tut Buckets, another channel that tried to start, was more like gaming content only. And then you had a media group, which we did the MCN and things like that, and combining businesses that I was working with inside of freelance also. And then you had SOR Digital, which was just purely freelance, no bundling of businesses. It was just pure freelance. And then one day, all of this goes away. All of it goes away. Actually, no, let's redo that. All of this goes away, right? We didn't have all these extra things. There was just SOR. I didn't have tech buckets. There was no second channel with my name on it. I wasn't doing freelance. And again, this is in the year of 2020, just regular old 2020. And then we started, or I started to pick up again, like I said, freelance work at the end of 2020 when I was sharpening my Photoshop skills and I was doing, like I said, live streaming. I took off with live streaming. And I said, hey, why not do what I was trying to do a long time ago? Not create separate channels, but to combine things into one is what I got really close with the media groups. Like I said, the media groups over here. Now look at that. What does that say? Media group. Okay, that says media group. I tried to write in cursive, but everything's connecting for some reason. Like I tried to do with the media group, just didn't turn out right. I tried to do that with the media group, but I guess whatever I was trying to do didn't turn out right. And I said, hey, let me try to do this again, but do it right this time. And that's where SOR digital, look, I can't spell for nothing, digital came from. And this is really the umbrella for everything. Let's erase this. Let me show you what I mean by the umbrella for everything. So up here you have SOR. Okay, I know what I'm about to do. Excuse me, guys. I'm going to take all this down and just write on the table here because I can't do it. So, wrong thing. So we had SOR. Okay, so we had SOR digital to begin with, right? And so this is after the bundling. This is, like I said, the umbrella term. So let me try to make this into an umbrella here. This is the umbrella term for everything, for Society of Random, for me as a freelancer, for the media group, for the Tut Buckets was gone. Okay, TB stands for Tut Buckets. And at that point, that was gone. That no longer existed. Because like I said, I tried to delete the channel. I wasn't successful in that, so I just abandoned it. All right. So everything was under this. Even the merch sales was under SOR Digital and still is today. Everything is underneath SOR Digital. Everything is connected to SOR Digital. And that's where we stand today. So once I did that, like I said, everything just took off. Everything did a complete 180, not a 360, because it's like, I hate when people say that. Let's do a full 360 or something like that. That puts you back where you started. That's what a 360 is. We did a full 180 and everything completely changed at that point. Nothing was the same. Even the setup here. I mean, I wish I can flip the camera and show you guys. Actually, I can. Let me do this here. This is how everything is happening. It may create some kind of parallax. But look, this is everything right here. This is the mic that I'm in front of. There's the camera over there. As you guys can see, there's a camera. All right. And here's that. I had that on. But that's the setup. I mean, how do you go to that? How do you get there? That's the computer over there, the PS5, the two lights. Not everything is inside of this room. Some things are, let's switch back to this. Some things are downstairs. Like I've moved my consoles a lot because sometimes I want to play in different places. Oh God, okay. Well, this mic is a little too heavy for this boom arm, but we're closing anyway. So at that point, things really took off. Like I said, I got a new setup. Things were completely changing, even to this day. Like I did a setup tour maybe a month and a half ago. And since then, I've gotten 5 new things over here in this setup. Things are ever changing ever since I've bundled things with SOR Digital. Let me talk finances a little bit here with you. In the aspect of, I'm going to lock this mic down so it doesn't keep moving too much and you guys can hear me all right. All right. So let's go back to the board here because it's easier for me to explain it this way. let's do finances here. So, like I said, in the year of 2014, I was getting paid off of allowance, okay? I was getting paid off of allowance. That was 2014. And then we started doing merch. Like I said, Angie came in and was kind of like my agent. And that was 2017 through 19. Let's say we were making somewhere around, I think, like $300 a month. Okay. That was $300 a month. And that was inside of that timeline. And then 2020 came, like I said, 2020 was a big game changer for everything. And we were doing, like I said, weekly to bi-weekly orders. And at that point we were doing, I don't remember, people have logs and stuff on that. And I forgot to tell you guys, I even had employees. I had it on my old website. I'm not sure if there was on there. We had Liam. Pretty A lot of people have heard me speak of Liam. Angie, she was still with us. She isn't with us today, because she belongs to Promola. She's not ours. We had a few other people I can't remember. Jesus. But they haven't been working ever since the pandemic. So anyway, to that, uh, we were doing somewhere like, and I mean by employees, I don't mean like anything like serious. They were people who were helping me and I was paying. It was as simple as that. Um, we were doing like, I want to say 1.5K to 469K. I don't know what else to put. And that was inside of 2020. That was not a week. That was not in a month. I want to say that was like every 2 months or something like that. So it was really kind of, this was more quarterly. I don't know if I spelled that right. I'm not in the mindset to spell right now. This was more quarterly than anything. Um, and then we do late 2020. So let's do quarter four of 2020. All right. Quarter four of 2020, we were doing something like, this was late 20. What am I doing? This was quarter four of 2020. We were doing something like I said, this is okay. This is before. We'll do BSD. That's before SOR Digital 2020. And then we have ADSD. That is after society. This was after the combination of SOR Digital. Like I said, things really took off at that point. I was doing more freelance work. I was doing things like that. So let's do 10K to about 30K. And that was, again, I want to say every 2 to 3 months, things coming in. Like I tell people all the time on the live streams and things like that, because my friends think I'm this rich person and that they can just ask me for anything anytime and I'm buying all this stuff recklessly. No. Okay. All this stuff can be written off. All right. This stuff, we are a nonprofit. Everything that we make is actually spent into other things like YouTube, renting equipment, cameras, and things like that. Camera is an $800 camera. These screens are probably like $400 each. Like, these things are spent. These things aren't kept in my pocket. They don't go in my bank account. Nothing like that. So when you see these big numbers, don't you know what I'm saying? It's on a completely different level. And I really think it is because of the pandemic, that I really changed the way I did things. It wasn't more of a standpoint of, let me just do this to get it out there. I was kind of in a way of, let's do this in the right way, on a certain level of excellency, doing it not just to get it done, but to do it right and to have it out there for people to see who you are and what this brand is. I mean, I have had countless people reach out to me. I get Instagram DM requests from these strange companies. Some of them I'm sure aren't real, but some of them I'm sure are. My inbox, I think right now I have 38,000 emails. And that is not my this is Elijah Tucker at SOR at societyrandom.com. That's what email this account this is. I mean, things have really changed. And even in 2020, I think it was August, I think April or August of 2020, I picked up another gig where it's still where I am now. It's this church I do weekly, and that was another source of income. So like I said, 2020, once I actually, after I bundled everything, then things really took off crazily. So I think I kind of want to leave things there because I'm kind of getting into, like what I was saying about the church and the things like that. I'm getting into things that I want to speak on in another episode. So that was just pretty much all for this. I hope you guys have enjoyed what I have so far. This tablet is on 17%. That's how I know it's time to wrap up. Hope you guys have enjoyed so much, as much as I had recording it. I'll see you guys in part 2, not part 2, but episode 2, video 2, whatever. I don't really like to call things episodes because that is kind of an obligation for me to record. My life has changed completely in the way of recording. It's kind of like a secondary thing now. I'll get into that also in the next video, but I hope you guys have enjoyed. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.